Binding of Isaac comes from the mind of Edmund Macmillan, who you may be familiar with from his previously released title, Super Meat Boy. If you're familiar with the title, then the plot of the game will come as no surprise. Based loosely on the biblical story of the same name, you play as Isaac, a child who's trying to escape through his mother's basement after she was instructed by God to sacrifice him. Immediately, you're cast into the dungeon that for the older gamers amongst us looks quite familiar to the original Legend of Zelda. 4 possible directions, a life bar, primary and secondary items, coins, bombs, keys, a mini-map, and the secret areas accessible by bombs. Basically, in a nutshell, the Binding of Isaac is somewhat of a dark reimagining of what many of us enjoyed as kids to be the best part of Zelda. Just as with Zelda, after the completion of each area, you gain a little more power through an item left by each boss. In addition to the gameplay throwback, the game doesn't hold your hand in any manner. Although not rage-inducing like some retro-style games that have been recreated, the Binding of Isaac can go south quickly if you're not paying attention. Just as with the other roguelike games, at some points, depending on your resources, you may have to choose between checking another room and trying to find more loot, or escaping to the next floor with as much health as you can. Each time I failed and replayed the game, it felt a little different. The items you get as you progress determine how you play. You may be a little stronger and be able to throw some attacks of opportunity to quickly kill monsters, or you may be a little faster and have to resort to jabbing the enemies down over a period of time, while trying at all costs to avoid any damage. This is what creates the distinctive feel of Isaac, and really adds to how it plays. Although quite linear in design, even while having some elements of randomness, it really comes down to what's presented to you in the world, to the decision-making you are going to have as a player and how you're going to play. After a few hours of gaming, at the end you won't feel like you've been hammering your head going down the same path. You'll feel like you've passed through a few different stories. The variety of items, monsters, and unlockables makes for a fresh feel with each play. If the idea of a twisted dungeon crawler in which you kill enemies with your tears gets you excited, then there really is little holding you back from enjoying the Binding of Isaac.